very loud house, and it always is when they play at home. As the Orangemen take the field and they know the task at hand, it's a difficult one. A task that nobody has been able to overtake or overcome this year, and that's defeat the men who are dressed in white tonight. Number 2, Virginia Tech comes calling against the Orangemen here at the Carrier Dome. Some distractions this week. Micheal Vick, article written that he might not come back for his junior year, but then later in the week he put a period on the whole thing by saying, I will return next season to Virginia Tech University. Hi once again, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried. Mike, having been a head coach, talk about those distractions and what does it take away from a team?
Ron, it could have been a distraction because anytime you have to answer the questions, it's always taking you away from the game plan. But I thought Frank Beamer really handled it well. And Micheal Vick coming back, the announcement is a positive for Virginia Tech.
Talk about last year, 62-0. He did that game down at Blacksburg. What a whipping. Do you use that as motivation if you're Syracuse, or do you just forget it?
No, I think you do use it. I think Paul Pasqualoni reminded his team they were humiliated at Virginia Tech 62-0. So that's a motivational factor for this ball game. I expect Syracuse is going to give a punch, real good punch here to Virginia Tech early in this game.
Talk about Nunes, the quarterback for Syracuse. Last week he had just a miserable week with 4 interceptions. Is he the key tonight?
He's so much the key because this defense, like no other defense, forces the quarterback to execute in a way that you almost got to be perfect to beat Virginia Tech at the quarterback position.
Well, Frank Beamer, you see his numbers, and as we talked about in the open, hard to believe it. He is 0-5 in any building. Paul Pasqualoni, 78 wins, 10th season as the head coach here at Syracuse. Bonzik, as Syracuse won the toss and has deferred to the second half. Bonzik, the kicker, as you look at number 4, Andre Kinnick, the deep man. We're underway. This is returnable from the 6. Kendricks. 20. Out close to the 30-yard line. Adrian Karsten down on the sideline. What do you have for us, big guy?
Ron, you need to know how significant special teams like this are going to become in this game tonight. First of all, Syracuse has a new long snapper, Quasi Leverett. Frank Beamer himself went over the stopwatch, timed his snap from center to punter. They think one way or another they can rattle him, maybe block a punt. Now remember, in this game last year, Syracuse had to punt 9 times and then fumbled 2 of those snaps. Finally, when Lee Suggs returned the ball as the number 3 scorer in the nation, he loves to block kicks too. Virginia Tech has some of the most respected special teams in college football, Ron.
Adrian, it's a great point. In fact, they've had a block each of the last 2 years that they have been up here. They started off with a reverse. This is Emmett Johnson. And Johnson is going to be hemmed in, hit, and knocked down. That is a nice defensive play by Will Allen. Micheal Vick, the talented one from Newport News, Virginia. Behind him, he has Lee Suggs, an outstanding tailback, and Jared Ferguson. The receivers, you just saw Johnson on the reverse. Andre Davis, the game breaker. Browning Wynn is the tight end. Loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Syracuse shows blitz. Here they come. All out. Vick under pressure. Gets away from 2 men. Now doing what he does best, and this is unbelievable. He's going to wind up getting back to the line of scrimmage. Dwight Freeney is the man who finally stopped him. The offensive line looks this way. Lambeau, Laird, Demasi, Redding, Cadella probably the best. Talk about who they're going up against, Mike.
This will be the best defensive line Virginia Tech has faced. Dwight Freeney, who just made that tackle, is very quick coming off the corner.
So it's going to be a 3rd down and about 14 yards. I mean, they are standing and making a lot of noise here. Demasi with the long snap. First pass. It is caught. That's Johnson. And Emmett will be tackled immediately by Quentin Harris. Gain of 9, but the first punt of the night.
Yeah, and Ron, this is exactly what Syracuse needs to do. They need to throw their best haymaker at Virginia Tech here early in this football game to get this crowd in the ball game, but to also give them confidence and to put Virginia Tech back on their heels.
Robert Peasley, redshirt freshman out of Pulaski, Virginia. Gets a good pass, and the left footer got knocked down, and there's no flag.
I like the fact that they went after the kick. You try to beat a team at what they do best.
Frank Beamer came down the sideline, and there is a flag, but it is downfield. It is not where the collision happened. A 52-yard punt. I thought that would get at least a running into penalty.
Very close. Pretty good acting job.
John Smith, the referee tonight. Tyree is the man who collided with Peasley. Watch this and judge for yourself.
Here's the penalty. A block in the back against Syracuse.
So Paul Pasqualoni, that's not a very happy expression, and you can understand why, because against this defense, to take over first down at your own 7-yard line. Not a good way to build confidence, is it?
No, but they really had a chance at that punt. Almost blocked it.
Going to throw on first down. Nope, it's a quarterback draw. And Nunes will get close to the 10-yard line. The lineups: Nunes out of Butler, Pennsylvania, a management major. Talked to the young man yesterday, and we'll give you some of that as the game goes on. Davis and D. Brown of the running backs. Woodcock, Campbell, the wide receivers. Graham, Manley, really outstanding receiver as a tight end. But will they be able to use him that way tonight? That's something they will have to check out. Or will they maximum protect and leave him inside? Brown, left side. They have 6, 7, close to the first down. He's out around the 17-yard line. The offensive line for Syracuse, the best and the most improved, we should say, is P.J. Alexander. Sean O'Connor is the heart and soul. Talk about who they face.
Ron, they're facing an 8-man front. They're going to crowd the football. David Pugh is the best defensive lineman for Virginia Tech.
Okay, we'll see what they come up with here. 3 tight ends in the ballgame: Manley, Lewis, and Frazier. It is third down at about a half a yard to pick up that first down. The offside. How about that? The handoff goes to Chris Davis, but clearly the left defensive end, I believe it was Cobb, came across, and they'll pick up 5, and it'll move the sticks. So we continue the defensive starters. Nick Sorensen was a safety last year. Moved him back to his true position at linebacker. Housewright and Ben Taylor.
In the secondary, Ron, you have to know as a quarterback where number 16 is lined up, Corey Bird, because they'll bring him on a blitz. They'll take him in man coverage. He'll be a 2-deep safety sometimes. He's all over the place. He's the key to the defense.
And I guess if there's somebody that Syracuse might try to pick on, and that's Eric Green, the young freshman cornerback.
If they have time to throw it. That's the key.
That's exactly the key. Manley, the tight end, flips from the right side to the left. Campbell in motion, straight ahead. D. Brown. Now, I think this is key, and you talked about this yesterday with me. If they can come up with 5 and 6 yards a carry, and they can run for 150, 200 yards in this game, they get a real shot.
They got a chance to win the game, right, Ron? Because Virginia Tech's only given up 97 yards rushing. You can't get one-dimensional against this defense. And if they can run for 150-plus yards, I think they have a chance to win this game.
The biggest thing that also does, oversimplified but true, it keeps number 7 for Virginia Tech off the field. Here's the option. They're giving them a look at everything to start this ball game. And Nunes is not only going to have the first down, he'll have about 7 yards beyond that as Willie Pyle pushed him out of bounds.
You asked me the question about last year, 62-0. This team has come out with a vengeance. They played well on defense. They tried to block the punt. They came very close. Now offensively, they got the ball back at the 7-yard line. 2 first downs. Everything's going well for Syracuse right now.
Paul Pasqualoni would love nothing more than to take this ball and drive it 93 yards.
Drive, score, and keep Vick on the sideline, just as you said.
Nunes and Brown now both with 12 yards rushing. Short drop, quarterback going to carry it again as a flag is down.
There's got to be a holding in there, Ron. Now that's 2 quarterback draws by Syracuse. Florida State last year in the Sugar Bowl ran 15 draws against Virginia Tech. And the reason why they ran the draws is because the front 4 of Virginia Tech just roars up the field. And so you have to control them. And you control them with the draw.
During the run, holding, offense. 10 yards assessed from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
Here's the quarterback draw. Troy Nunes just going up back like he's setting, and he gets a good block by D. Brown.
I think they may have gotten Romeo in that one as he threw him down and then fell on top of his man. So the Syracuse Orangemen with a good-looking drive going here. A little bit of a step backwards. In fact, 10-yard step backwards because of the hold. We'll see if they're still able to maintain running the chains. 5, 10, counted off at 11, Chris Davis. Big hole there, the quick hitter.
Troy Nunes, when you talk to George DeLeon about the quarterback, he said, I just don't want him getting into those scramble plays where he takes a bad play and gets it into a worse play. And Ron, that's evidenced by the fact he's thrown 7 touchdown passes but 9 interceptions.
You know,
but he got away with a couple of them against Pittsburgh that won the game. So sometimes you get into that habit.
Here comes the blitz. Wanted to shovel pass, had the ball knocked loose, and he gets back on it at the 20-yard line. Jake Housewright was the man who made the play. That is a loss of 15, and they're lucky to have the football.
They're trying. They're talking about it being an incomplete pass because it was the shovel draw. But I'm not sure about this call. Now, Jake Housewright, I think he took it right out of his hands. I don't think he flipped the ball. Do you?
Well, it's hard to tell from it. I'd like to see. I think his arm was going forward. Look right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Good call. I stand corrected.
You weren't that wrong. It was that close.
Jake Housewright with a good play. Jake Housewright had 12 tackles against West Virginia in that big win on Thursday night.
Third down, line to make is out at the 46-yard line. Syracuse trying to get something going offensively, movement all over the place.
Alexander, PJ, number 69, a little quick.
Well, when you got those speedy folks coming on the outside, it makes you want to take every advantage that you can, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Remains third down.
Coach DeLeon said that he probably, P.J. Alexander, has come the longest way. He was a center. And they moved him out to left tackle. And he said he loved it until first couple of games. And he said, Coach, I'm out here on an island. I really like center better. He said, no, you're doing great. Just keep working hard.
Yeah, he wanted to go back where he was in the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah, you really are left alone out there on that left side. Nunes all the time in the world. Going to go long. And it is tipped. Maurice Jackson. 54 yards.
Ron, Eric Green has this interception. You teach the players to go for the ball at his highest point. Number 1, Eric Green, it went right through his hands. Good concentration by Maurice Jackson to make this catch. And big plays is what you have to have against Virginia Tech's defense. You talk about a confidence builder here.
That also really got this crowd out of their seats and into this ball game. Sweep back into the boundary. D. Brown going to have 5, maybe 6 yards. Taylor on the tackle. But the point is on first down. Syracuse right now with the run is playing second and short. That is just what the doctor ordered.
And Ron, you look at that clock ticking, 8:18, and that's what they want. Long drives consume time against Bud Foster's defense.
Sean O'Connor, number 76, the junior out of Morristown, New Jersey, with an outstanding block on the play. And to back up what Mike's talking about, this is the 9th play. This drive started at the 7th. Looks like the same play. D. Brown, he got whacked by David Pugh. That time, big number 71 along with Willie Pyle.
Ron, it's important they score. I don't care if they score a field goal or not, but you don't want to settle for field goals against Virginia Tech. The most important thing is to go on the board here early. But you're only going to get so many chances at this defense, and you got to cash in with 7. They're 16 out of 23, 11 touchdowns.
You know, I don't know that they would go for the field goal if the situation did come up, because Schaefer has missed 5 inside the red zone this year.
Hasn't been good.
Here we go, 3rd down. You see they need to take it to the 5.5-yard line. Option play. Nunes back to Brown. That's the first down. Touchdown. Orangeman.
Great block by Chris Davis, and what you want to do is you want to put the curse of the dome attitude in all the players of Virginia Tech, and they do it with a 7-0 lead.
Got it. Schaefer knocks it home. 7 minutes, 11 seconds left. Opening quarter. Could the curse of the dome be present here again tonight? D. Brown says yes. I can tell you, they are extremely excited as you look at the home team since 1988.
They've controlled this series, but Micheal Vick is on the other sideline. Andre Davis, Lee Suggs, and a great special team. They could bring this kickoff right back. They're capable of exploding at any time.
This kick is high. It's returnable. Kendrick from the 6-yard line. Denied the 20-yard line. Johnson on the tackle. Brian Kenny, what do you have for us?
All right, here's something. Stanford, USC. Stanford down 4, 4th down, 2 seconds left. Last play of the game. Stanford's Chris Lewis in for the injured Randy Fasani. Puts it up. Jamie and McCollum in the end zone. Touchdown. Stanford wins. USC 0-4 for the first time in conference play.
Wow. You know, it's tough to lose a 2-point game anytime, Brian, but to lose it on the last play of the game, I'm telling you.
That's a dagger there.
Yeah, that's like pulling a tooth out at the same time. Whew. Vick, Suggs, left side. He may have 1 yard, and that's it. Mike, just before the ball game, as Quentin Harris is the man who leads the attack. You and I were talking with Dick McPherson, the wonderful longtime head coach up here. And talk about his feeling about this Syracuse defense. It's some tall words.
Yeah, he has had some great teams here, a great coach, and he said this is the best defense Syracuse has ever had. And so that's tall order, but I think they really are good. They're good in the defensive line. They're strong. They got good linebackers, and they got Will Allen, number 25, who they can put on the best receiver of the other team.
Here comes the option. Pitch comes back to Suggs. Has 5, has 10, counted off at 15, and now say 16 yards. That's what you're talking about, just that quickly.
That's what they do best. Now, when you start to run into problems inside with the running game, now you kick the ball out on the option. And watch this block by Andre Davis, if we see it right here, on Will Allen, number 25. He seals him inside. You can't let them get outside. Suggs then makes first down. But the option is the neutralizer when things are going bad inside.
Lee Suggs, outstanding running back. He really sings the praises of Micheal Vick and also of Andre Davis. He said it opens up the inside for me, Andre Davis. There's the quick pass. Got it out to Davis. Going to be spun down quickly. Will Allen, the man that Mike was just talking about. He didn't get to finish the lineup defensively. Greenwood certainly the most consistent. Clifton Smith and J.R. Johnson. And in the secondary,
Will Allen may be one of the best corners in the country, a true All-American, and he has Andre Davis tonight all over this football field.
he said a funny thing last night after their walkthrough, though. He said the scariest thing in the world is have your back to the play, and all of a sudden hear people holler and run, and you turn around and it's number 7 who's running. Pressure from the backside. Gonna be sacked. Freeney and Pettijohn. Loss of 10.
You have to block Dwight Freeney because he's so quick off of the mark. Very good defensive end. 7 sacks now and make it 8. He's from Bloomfield High School in Bloomfield, Connecticut, coached by Reggie Pope. Very good defensive end.
And you have to admit, not many times in the last couple of years with just the front 4 without using the blitz have you seen Micheal Vick get corralled and sacked. Third down. They need to take it all the way out to the 48-yard line. Pressure on Vick again as a late flag comes in, and he's got to be knocked down. Maybe a gain of a couple by Ricky Simpkins.
I think that's got to be offsides. If it's not movement, it's got to be offside.
Offside defense. You're correct.
They've been after Micheal Vick here early in the ballgame. I've always felt as a coach, when the team scores, you have to answer that score. And this is a big series for Virginia Tech early in this ball game, but they want to answer that score Syracuse made. Now let's see if Micheal Vick can take advantage of this 5-yard penalty.
Because keep in mind that the defense should be over here sitting on the sideline right now, and the punting team for Virginia Tech should be out there. A slight reprieve. 3rd down and 12. Here comes the blitz. They're going to get him again. Pettijohn and Hunter. Will Hunter, you can see number 30 sneaking through in the middle.
Ron, what they did is Syracuse did a nice job of showing blitz to the right side, and then they came off of it and brought it to the left side. Will Hunter, number 30, with just a clear path to Micheal Vick.
Peasley, his first punt, 51 yards. And they were close to blocking the first one. Good high coverage kick. Riddle. No fair catch. The return is to the right. Boy, that is good coverage. 37 yards in the kick, -5 on the return. Let's take a timeout. 3:18 remaining, opening quarter. Syracuse 7-0. Stadium just prior to the game tonight. And those folks wearing orange have got big smiles right now. 7-0. The home folks on top.
Is that guy trying to sell him, or what is it?
It was hard to tell. Mungro is in the game, number 23, a tailback, replacing D. Brown. Ball is loose. Sorensen is the man who made the hit.
You play this defense now, you've got to be able to run the football. And right now, Syracuse with 49 yards, give them 2 more to 51. And if they can get to 150 plus yards, they got a chance to win this football game, a legitimate chance, because they get a chance to do both things and get a balanced offense tonight.
After this play, I want to go down to Adrian. I know he's on the Virginia Tech sideline and checking on Micheal Vick, who was a little ruffled when he went off the field. Here's Nunes on the option. Going to pitch it back, and that thing is being juggled by Mungro, and they're going to lose yardage on that. Adrian, let's check with you. What's the situation?
Micheal Vick took a pretty sharp hit to his right elbow. That's his non-throwing elbow. With the butt of a helmet, Ron. He's got no pad over there. He's not a kid who likes to take any kind of treatment for it. They wanted to put ice on that elbow. He would not take it.
Adrian, let me ask you one other quick question. I know you were on the Syracuse sideline. They're very pleased with the way Nunes has played so far, aren't they?
He is 5 for 5 on checkoffs at the line. That is to say, he comes up to the line with a decision to make. He hasn't missed a single read. As much as Virginia Tech with that 8-man front does jumping around trying to confuse him, he is spot on at this point.
Adrian, that's big in this ballgame. Your quarterback must play to the highest level against this defense.
Great hustle, Adrian. Thanks. This is twice. P.J. Alexander has come out of his stance.
You know, he's blaming the right guard or the left guard. Oh, he's maybe he's pulling him back. Sean O'Connor.
Brian Kelly, let's go to you very quickly.
Yeah, Ron, talking about quarterbacks getting hurt. North Carolina and Clemson. Quarterback Woodrow Dantzler twisting his ankle on this play. Didn't appear he was badly hurt here, but you can see at the end limping a little bit. North Carolina quarterback Ronald Curry sprained his knee just before the half as well.
Back here at the Dome, down the sideline, got man coverage. Jackson will score 78 yards.
You're going to get some shots at this Virginia Tech defense, but usually you can't get the ball off. But the maximum protection by Syracuse. Just a great catch by Maurice Jackson. A Willie Mays catch over the shoulder. Troy Nunes put it right on the money against Roniel Whitaker.
Maurice Jackson is only 5'8", 163 pounds, but you can see he can motor, and he did. They got man coverage, exactly what they wanted. Schaefer with the extra point attempt. He knocks it home. Hey, go call a neighbor. We got an upset brewing right here. 14-0. I know there's a lot of football left to be played, but it's going to be a good one. The Orangemen behind the 78-yard touchdown strike of Maurice Jackson. They're loving it. And the man who has just been wreaking havoc, where's number one? One of the smallest guys in the sideline. Scoring drive, 3 plays, 69 yards. But how about for Maurice Jackson? 2 catches, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown, I beg your pardon. D. Brown running the other one in from 9 yards out. Kendrick is the deep man. Kozik to kick it off for Syracuse. Very high. This kick is short. Kendrick on the run from the 17. Pushed out of bounds just across the 30. That's Will Allen. Mike, talk about the touchdown.
Here's what coverage they caught him in right here. The safety's going to sit in the hole right here. He's not going to help this corner right here. The corner's one-on-one with Maurice Jackson. That's Roniel Whitaker. They had what they wanted. No help over the top. They just threw the ball perfect. A good over-the-shoulder catch. Touchdown and a pretty good lead for Syracuse.
First drive that they scored on of 93 yards, the longest this year. Pitch comes back to Suggs. Lee Suggs puts the head down, muscles his way as Clifton Smith is there to make the tackle. Coming up tomorrow morning on NFL Countdown, Marshall Faulk, the league's most dangerous weapon. Meet the NFL's top-ranked defense, the New Orleans Saints, and actor running back Darnell Autry takes the stage in Philadelphia. Then at 7:30, Chris Berman and Todd Jackson return for NFL Primetime. All the scores and highlights and analysis from Week 8 in the National Football League. Kendrick replaces Suggs at tailback. Vick hit and dropped by Freeney. This is amazing that he has not been able to juke and put moves on the Syracuse defense.
He hasn't been able to get by the front four. And the other thing I see, Ron, is Syracuse playing a lot of zone. And when you play a lot of zone, you have eyes on the quarterback. When you play a lot of man, you run with your back to the receiver. So you got several players running away from the quarterback. Syracuse, a lot of zone tonight, keeping Micheal Vick in front of him.
You talked about Freeney in the pregame about how tough he's got 2 sacks or 2 tackles for loss already. Vick all the time in the world this time. Wants to run it. Vick, 35, 40. Greenwood pushes him out of bounds right in front of the Syracuse bench, and it's a gain of 13 and enough for the first down.
That was the other thing that Syracuse coaches worried about. Talking about getting to Micheal Vick that sometimes you overrun him, and when you overrun him, he'll find the little hole and you pick up the first down.
You know what's scary? Yesterday he told me, we stood under the goalpost and talked after they walked through yesterday morning. I said, what about the turf? He said, I love the turf. He said, I'm quicker on turf and I think I can make my cuts better. I thought, Paul Pasqualoni doesn't want to hear that comment.
Virginia Tech success in the first quarter. They got 45 seconds to put some points on the board here.
Well, there's a timeout. We'll take it with them. 45 seconds remaining in a very quick first quarter. And our score, Syracuse 14 and the number 2 ranked team in the nothing. Syracuse on top. In case you missed the top of the telecast, we talked about the fact that Frank Beamer, with all the great things that he's done at Virginia Tech, that this place has been a snake pit for him. And I could tell by the expression on his face, Mike, when Syracuse went right down the field and scored and then scored again, is oh swell. We've gotten this crowd in the ball game. And he told me, he said, this is really a tough place because of the crowd. They're so close to the field. Vick. Gets it away, has it complete, and there's Davis. 19 yards in the pass play to the big junior, Andre Davis.
Ron, last week Ricky Bussell, the offensive coordinator, sat down with Micheal Vick and he said, you're trying to do too much. You know, you struggled fundamentally against Boston College and Temple, and you're just trying to do too much. Let it come to you. And Micheal Vick wanted to settle down a little bit tonight and let things happen.
Davis has got 2 catches for 21. Davis is the guy that has the big play, and Ricky Bussell told us the other day, that's been the difference, the big play. Pitch back to Kendrick, turns it up, back into the middle of the field, tries to hurdle a man, and his tackle just inside the 20-yard line. 20 yards in the carry, and Keon Walker actually saved a touchdown.
Well, Andre Kendrick was he ran for 2 touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl that we were at last year at Florida State. And it really sparked Virginia Tech.
Trainer coming out to check on him, and it's hard to tell. Is it his ankle or his knee? That is the end of the first quarter. We'll talk more about it when we return. 14-0, Syracuse lead. Back with the second quarter after this. Quarter, first period stats, 60 yards Virginia Tech, 30 rushing, 30 passing. Syracuse 45 rushing, 132 passing for a total of 177.
Ron, 2 big plays by Syracuse, 2 big pass plays that set up their 2 scores.
But right now, Micheal Vick and company in the red zone. Kendrick got kicked on the shin on an injury that was already there. They rewrapped it. He's back in the ball game. And in fact, it goes down here for a loss as Clifton Smith is here to cover him up. Loss of 2.
Yeah, 3 sacks by Syracuse in the first quarter. They've been after Micheal Vick, been able only 1 time to let him out of the pocket to pick up a first down. So they've done a nice job on Vick.
Defensive stats in the first quarter. Pettijohn 3 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. Freeney with 2 tackles, and they give him credit for 1.5 sacks. Pyle for Virginia Tech with 5 first quarter stops. But they didn't get it off. Vick tried to call a timeout. And here's just what we were talking about that Frank Beamer visited yesterday and just said that this is a difficult place. And when you're trying to relay signals in, it's really hard to hear.
Ron, I think what happens, Steve DeMasi, the center, he makes a lot of line calls. Almost every center will make a call, a directional call on how you're going to block a play, whether it's pass protection or run play. And Syracuse moved around a little bit. I don't think he made his calls in time.
So they take a 5-yard step off. Second down and about 16. They need to take it down to the 9-yard line of Syracuse.
Ron, they're going to start working on Willie Ford.
Right over the middle, got him. That is Carter, the tight end. Flag is down in the backfield. Clifton Smith with the pressure on Micheal Vick. That was thrown way back behind Vick, wasn't it? Holding Virginia Tech.
Ron, early in this ball game, Will Allen is doing a good job on Andre Davis, which means now Virginia Tech will try out Willie Ford, number 15, the opposite corner than Will Allen. So you get Emmett Johnson on him and Wilford and Witten. So look for Virginia Tech to try to challenge Willie Ford.
Second down, and you can see a long way. Tried to set up a double screen. Vick going to run right into J.R. Johnson. That is 4 sacks. 4. And we're still in the early going of this ball game.
I think what Ricky Bussell will sit down with Micheal Vick and tell him to deliver the football. He's dancing a little bit too much back there. And that's some concern that pro football people have talked about, that he throws off balance a lot, throws across his body, and he's not ready in a drop-back game yet. That's why he needs to stay in school.
That was the double screen they were trying to set up, right? And Syracuse said that they really fear that play because they run it so well.
They're going to get another delay of game penalty. Too slow getting out of the huddle.
Frank can't believe it.
And that's what happens, Ron. Again, we talked about in the SEC games, some officials are fast to put the ball in play. And you've got to adjust to every official group that you have, because the referee could be quick, he could be slower than guys, and that's why the rule's different in college, because the time's different.
Wow, third down and an acre. Vick. He just throws this one up. Emmett Johnson's the man he's looking for. Tipped in the air and knocked away. That's Willie Ford who knocked the ball in the air.
And Ron, you can expect they're going to go after Willie Ford more and more as this game goes on. But I don't think Emmett Johnson could find the football. You know, I think he lost the football in this dome with the lights above. He couldn't find it.
Third punt of the night by Virginia Tech. Peasley. Campbell is the deep man. Lets it go, and it's going to go into the end zone. 47 yards in the punt. Twice that Peasley has been bumped into, and John Smith stands steadfast and says no flag. We'll be right back.
At BASF, we don't make the floor, we make it tougher. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Just released the American Beauty Awards edition.
Today I blackmailed my boss for almost $60,000 past these bears.
What?
It's the winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
I rule.
The American Beauty Awards edition. Own it Tuesday.
My name's John Woolard. I rescue alligators for a living.
John Woolard is one brave guy.
It's pretty exciting.
But would John Woolard ever insure his car with some kind of cut-rate car insurance?
Cut-rate car insurance. I'm not that brave.
When it comes to car insurance, why take a chance? Be like this State Farm customer and get an agent you can rely on, plus competitive rates.
Go on now.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. It's all about safety and comfort and that devilish grin you get knowing you just got the better end of the deal. Like a $1,250 value on the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. You can get real comfortable with that. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
Welcome back to the Carrier Dome.
Ron, they were talking to the offensive line. You see the board right there. In pro football, you have the Polaroid picture, so your offensive linemen and coaches can see where everybody's lined up. Here, in college coaching, you don't have the Polaroid, so you got to go on what you see and what the players tell you. Sometimes they're wrong.
D. Brown back in the ball game, a tailback for Syracuse. Option back into the short side of the field. Nunes going to be spun down by Jim Davis. And we go back to that statement that the offensive coordinator, George DeLeon, told us yesterday that they're trying to drill into Nunes' head. Don't make a bad play worse.
Yeah, and he's gotten away with making some big plays on scrambles. And he then at Boston College, and he threw a couple interceptions trying to make something happen. George DeLeon, who you see right here, just preaches to him all the time, don't make a bad play worse.
Well, instead of picking up the positive yardage on the ground, they lose 7. Hit. Spins off the tackle of Davis, and he's going to take it forward to around the 29. Let's check in with Adrian down on the sideline. Adrian?
Ron, honestly, this is the most non-emotional Virginia Tech football team I have seen, including last year, of course, in the national championship game. They warmed up flat. I honestly passed it off as being businesslike because of the way I saw Syracuse warming up, ranting and raving and all. But there's just no fire in their faces down here. The other thought is, Ron, this is a new experience for them. With the exception of 1 minute and 20 seconds of total game time against West Virginia, they have not played from behind all year long.
Adrian, they need a big stop here to let their punt block team.
Yeah, they're going to get it. He better take a safety. Just do the smart thing. Going to try to throw it. Intercepted by Virginia Tech at the 50-yard line. It's Willie Pyle.
Ron, that's a pretty good move by him. Now, you can take the safety and take it 2 points, but he got squared around there, and he should have thrown the ball out of bounds.
Okay, that's right.
But it ends up like a punt. Now, the defense got to come back out and stop Virginia Tech. I was just getting ready to say Virginia Tech's defense has to make something happen, or the punt block team has to make something happen. You need to get that bench excited.
Say something. 95, Jim Davis put pressure. He had something to do with all 3 defensive stops for Virginia Tech on that series. Suggs at tailback. They give it to him. Big hole right up the middle, and Suggs is going to take it down inside the 40. It's a gain of 11. J.R. Johnson defensively.
Lee Suggs' father is a pastor at Christiansburg Memorial Baptist Church, and imagine he's watching this ball game right now.
Well, let me say this. I talked to his son yesterday, and what a nice young man.
Nice family.
Yeah. Out of Roanoke, Virginia. Lee Suggs is sophomore, 6 feet 207.
And he runs a 4.27 40, so he has some speed.
In fact, Ricky Bussell said gives him more speed to tailback than he may have ever had. Here's the pitch back to Suggs, turns it up. It'll go inside the 35 to around the 33. Johnson again defensively.
And then I go back to when you get the offensive line together when they come off the field. And you talk about what can you ask them their input. What can we do? What do you think we can do? Because it's a game of adjustments. And I think this offensive line now is getting in a little groove of running the football.
See, this time Vick goes under center. He's still got 10 seconds on the clock, so a lot of difference. Suggs hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked down by Lou Janellen. Gatchelin is a redshirt freshman out of Miami.
Ron, you think maybe option here with 3rd and about 3 or 4 yards. They haven't thrown the ball very well. This might be the time you put the ball in Micheal Vick's hands with the option possibility.
I want to comment on something that just happened with the music that they run up here at the Dome. I think that should be illegal when the other team's calling signals. You should not be able to do it electronically. Suggs runs into his own blocker and is going to be knocked down by J.R. Johnson.
Got to think about going for this 4th down play. And I think Frank Beamer's going to go ahead. Still would like to see the option here. may take a timeout, talk about it.
And Micheal Vick says, let's call a timeout. So we'll take it with him. 8:35 remaining first half with our score, Syracuse 14 and Virginia Tech nothing. Hokies are going to go for it on 4th down.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
What sets the digital world in motion? TI Programmable DSP, a technology that creates new markets with crystal clear images, new ways to envision the future. And when new generations evolve, rather than retool and replace, you can simply reprogram. Hardware, software, open thinking. It's the driving force of the digital world. From the world leader in DSP and analog, Texas Instruments.
Hurry, the sun! I can't handle this thing!
It's times like these I wish I had a Pontiac Grand Prix.
Nothing tracks the road quite like wide track handling.
Should we stop?
Not in this neighborhood.
Wider is better. The wide track Grand Prix.
Can the young and talented Phillip Rivers school the old pro in Florida State's Chris Winkie?
Florida State versus NC State at 7 next Saturday on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Hall of Languages here on the campus at Syracuse University. Obviously, very beautiful campus. Old buildings. Inside, Frank Beamer paces. 4th down.
He doesn't think it's a beautiful campus.
Well, you see the numbers and what they've done on the season on 4th down. Throws it, has it complete, and that's going to be Emmett Johnson. Or Williford, I beg your pardon, 19.
Pass is complete.
Well, a big throw by Micheal Vick.
You know, this is a great-looking kid, and remember we talked about we saw him down at the at practice when we were down in Blacksburg. Williford, it's 6'5", 211, and a redshirt freshman.
Big target.
Mm-hmm.
First and 10, Hokies from the 25.
Syracuse is going to take a timeout, Ron.
So we'll take the break with them. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left until halftime. 14-0 Syracuse. Right back. Why would you think? Defensively, just want to make sure they regroup?
Yeah, I think the number 9, Clifton Smith, called the timeout. He's the middle linebacker, so he must have saw something in his defense that he needed attention to. 458 yards. They're averaging 7th in the nation, and Syracuse done a very good job on them in the first half.
Micheal Vick from the 25.5-yard line. Wanted the shovel pass, not going to be there, and they're tackling the football. Clifton Smith made the stop.
Clifton Smith.
Micheal Vick trying to get the shovel pass here.
Second and 10.
Jared Ferguson, but Clifton Smith did not allow it and brings him down. Micheal Vick thinks he's playing against Virginia Tech's defense, where they got 15 guys on the field all the time. The other quarterback thinks.
They have scouted him extremely well. You can see Smith run up and call something late. Pressure on Vick. Gets it away and threw it behind Suggs. Brian Kenny in the studio. Let's check with you.
Ron, number 2 in trouble. How about number 3? Clemson, North Carolina. Woodrow Dantzler still out here in the third quarter. Backup quarterback Willie Simmons, only a freshman, hits Rod Gardner, 43-yard touchdown. They were down 17-0, but lead now 24-17 over North Carolina.
Wow, that's impressive when the backup comes off the bench and does something like that.
And Ron, North Carolina coming off a very emotional game, a loss to NC State.
Third down, 10. Line to make is the 16 of Syracuse. Orangemen lead at 14-0. Blitz, they pick it up well. He's going to be sacked. Well, he got it away. Nope. The referee comes in and says no, that we had blown the whistle. It is a sack.
Ron, you go back to the question you talked about at the opening. Did Micheal Vick get out of rhythm this week with all the questions about his grades and whether he was going to come back or not? He made the comment to an Atlanta radio station he was going to come back. He's not played well here in the first half.
It's going to be a field goal attempt. 47 yards. Been a long time since they have attempted a field goal because they have been so prolific on offense. Has the distance, and he split it. So the first time in 20 quarters that he has been called upon, and Warley knocks it home, and Virginia Tech on the scoreboard with 7 minutes and 17 seconds left until halftime.
And it's 14-3, Syracuse, 7-17.
I think the thing Ricky Bussell will talk to Micheal Vick about at halftime is to settle down, because he's again trying to do it on his own with all the movement. Sometimes you got to sit in the pocket and make the throws, and it looks to me like, Ron, he's jumping around a little bit too soon.
Well, with the distractions surrounding Vick this week, Frank Beamer spoke about how it has affected his quarterback.
Micheal Vick wants to play football. He wants to. He doesn't want to answer the question, is he coming out or not? And in every interview, he doesn't want to talk about the Heisman in every interview. He really, he's a team guy. He wants to play football, and that's it. And we're going to do our best to make that happen.
You can tell the frustration in Frank's voice. You know, he's tired of hearing it. And he's right. It's a team game. And when one guy gets the center of attention, sometimes it can throw him out of whack. And I'm sure they're going to protect him a little bit more with the media.
Michael said yesterday, he said about the turf and that he liked to play on this, but he also said, I've been trying to do too much. And he said, Coach Bussell is right, and I need to play more within myself and use the talent I've got around me. Line drive kick, and it's going to go through the hands of Will Allen and then out of the back of the end zone. Adrian Karsten down on the sideline. What do you have?
A reminder, Ron, that the lines are open. I'm taking any and all requests at ESPN.com, keyword Ask Adrian. Unique request, maybe even to walk on top of the Carrier Dome. Anything is possible later in this game. So if you're thinking of going over and switching to watch some baseball game, I'd stay right here.
All right.
Adrian, don't go up on top of that dome. We don't want it to come down.
Yes, Adrian, in the elevators, they have a weight limit. I haven't seen one for the top of the dome.
Ron, this is big. This series for Virginia Tech's defense stopped Syracuse last series. They need to do the same thing again. Syracuse needs to punch out a couple first downs.
Aaron Lewis, the tight end, number 41. You can see him reshift to the near side. And Brown going to be hit and knocked down for a loss. Actually, it's Mungro who has replaced D. Brown, and Philip Summers is the man who makes contact. Later tonight over on ESPN2, quarterback Wayne Madkid leads Mississippi State into Baton Rouge to take on LSU. That is at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet.
Would not be surprised if LSU knocks off the Dogs. Will they bite on the road? What's that song, Let the Dogs Out?
I don't know. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Will the Dogs be out in Baton Rouge?
14-3, our new score. Nunes with the play action. Gets it off to his tight end. That's Manley. Still fighting, and with the second effort, close to the first down at the 29-yard line.
Troy Nunes made that play, Ron, because he got his shoulders turned, got outside and contained the Virginia Tech defense.
Just a half yard short of the first down. It is third.
He told me yesterday, he said, I got to erase what happened last week. And he said that the biggest thing is they put you in a panic mode, speaking of the Virginia Tech defense. And he said, we've got to take care of it with good, simple stuff and not try to do too much. Syracuse takes a timeout, stops the clock with 5:55 left until halftime.
Hey, kids, we got some great news for you.
And we'll take the break with them. 14-3. Q's on top. Talking upstairs to Ricky Bussell. 14-3 right now, his ball club trailing. But obviously worlds of time left in this one. Just under 6 minutes to play until intermission. D. Brown back in the ball game, number 6 at tailback. Chris Davis remains the fullback. Here comes the option play. Nunes is going to keep it, and he will fall forward for the first down. It's Ben Taylor who makes the tackle.
Ron, you remember the 4th and 1 Florida State had in the Sugar Bowl against Virginia Tech. They ran an option, and again, a lot of people, coaching staffs, looked at that tape because Florida State did some good things. They spread out the Virginia Tech defense, and you could tell a little bit more predictable what they were going to do. And on 3rd and short, 4th and short, they took some chances with the option and throwing the football.
Syracuse tonight 4 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Scott just Summers came up and whacked him, and anyway, like you said, that thing blew up from the get-go, didn't it?
Good penetration by Tech's defense. Syracuse running the ball effectively. You got to stay with it. 46 rush yards. Virginia Tech not able to run or throw on Syracuse defense.
From the shotgun, and it's a shovel pass to the tight end Manley. Well, I have to admit, we have not, I think, first time we've seen that play this year. Everybody else, but not the tight end.
With the tight end. But again, trying to slow down the front four of Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's getting in their groove now defensively. They've adjusted very well. Here you see the opening. Chad Beasley came off the block and made the tackle.
They like to use Manley in a lot of different ways, but one of their concerns tonight is they thought they'd have to keep him in the block for max protection.
Better be careful here, Syracuse. Turnover time.
3rd down and 11. Pressure on Nunes. Now gets it away and way too short. And in fact, good thing he just threw that one into the turf.
We talked about Troy Nunes. He didn't make the mistake there. He threw the ball on the ground. He's doing what you need to do as a quarterback. As Adrian Karsten said, he's making the right checks. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing as well as he can play right now.
Let's keep an eye on that center, Leverett. Okay. Let's see what first punt of the night. You see the movement around him in the middle. Pressure from the outside, though, and Schaefer gets a beautiful spiral away. This is a great coverage kick. Davis breaks the tackle and is not going to break the second one. He'll be stopped just short of the 25-yard line. 46 yards in the kick by Mike Schaefer and 1 yard on the return.
46-yard punt, 1 yard return.
Well, tonight's Aflac trivia question. Who was the youngest player ever to win the Heisman Memorial Trophy? The answer later on.
Ron, when we had Tennessee early in the year, LSU beat them, and they played Tennessee's special teams. They outplayed them. Tennessee's always good in the special teams. Virginia Tech is being evened up here in the special teams by Syracuse.
Yes, they really are. They really are. Kendrick is in a tailback. That option play, the pitch goes back to Kendrick. And he's tripped up after a gain of 3, maybe 4 yards. Pettijohn, who has had a very good game along with Walker out of the secondary. Interesting, that stat that we gave just a bit ago with the field goal kick. The first time in 20 quarters, because they've done so well on offense, they haven't needed field goals.
No, they've had so many weapons.
Lee Suggs replaces Kendrick at tailback. And you can see the movement. Vick has the ball snapped by DeMassey, and I think Downing came across and made contact.
Dead ball, offsides, against the defense, contact foul, 5 yards, remaining second down.
I still expect Virginia Tech to try out Willie Ford because Will Allen is so good on one side. You've got to try out the other side.
Willie Ford, Jr. out of Falmouth, Massachusetts. Suggs finds an opening, has 5, has 10, and he's going to move the sticks big time. A gain of 11 yards. Pettijohn with still another tackle.
Good job blocking by this offensive line, a veteran offensive line. 4 seniors in this offensive line. Steve DeMasi was a walk-on last year when we did the Syracuse game.
You know what's interesting? Frank knows he's going to miss those 4 seniors, but he thinks next year's team could be the best they have because Grove, Anthony Davis, they got some good youngsters coming up as well. Suggs. Nice job of containment by Syracuse. I'm telling you, they're not letting anybody bounce to the outside and turn a corner. Oh, coming up on Monday night, join Mike Tirico and company for a full 90 minutes of ESPN Monday Night Countdown beginning 7:30 Eastern. Then it's ABC Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets are tied for first place in the AFC East. Winner will take control of the division. Game time 9 o'clock Eastern. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left until halftime. Syracuse 14, Virginia Tech 3. Pressure on the quarterback, and for the 6th time tonight, he has been sacked. That's Freeney.
Dwight Freeney is having a career night. About his 10th sack of the year. Just beats the offensive tackle. Anthony Davis, the backup tackle, who's 6'4", 321 pounds. You can see the duress that Micheal Vick has been under.
This is incredible. Not even Florida State gave him this kind of duress in the national championship game last year.
They're down to 2 on the game clock, on the play clock, and they're going to take a timeout.
And Mike, again, Syracuse runs that music up really loud here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to start something, but I mean, that should be illegal.
Ron, I believe a pro team got in trouble last week or 2 ago. It may have been the Redskins.
Playing the band is one thing, but when you can run up that many decibel points, and you're trying to get a signal in and call it.
You know, Frank Beamer is going to talk to the official right here, and he's talking about how quick that ball's set. Because he can't get the plays off, and that's what he's telling the guy. He said, "You're too quick."
Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
All right, guys, coming up, SportsCenter in-game at the half. We'll have the latest on the World Series. Game number 1, Clemson and North Carolina. Both quarterbacks are hurt. Number 3 in trouble. And also check in with Chris, Lee, and Kirk. And yes, Mike, it was the Redskins who got in trouble and got fined for that this week, guys.
Okay, Brian, you're right on it, buddy. You're right on it, but so is my partner here.
Yeah, Brian knows everything. I'm telling you, the Galata fight, he covers everything. Fights, baseball, football, bands, music.
So the situation, 93 seconds left until halftime. 3rd down and 18 for Virginia Tech. Deep over the middle, and he wasn't close to Andre Davis.
One of the things I think the receivers of Virginia Tech are having trouble locating the football. Andre Davis going down the middle of the football field. Now he gets away from Will Allen. I don't think he can find a football.
4th time that Peasley has had to kick tonight.
They're coming after him, too. I'm going to back Virginia Tech up another 5. No.
Against the defense, 5-yard penalty remains, 4th down.
minute 27 left. Riddle is the deep man. And they got it. Close on 2 occasions tonight. It's out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Woodcock along with Tyree on the block.
And Ron, if you want to pull the upset and you want to play with a team that's as good as Virginia Tech, beat them at their own game. And that's what we keep mentioning. Syracuse doing a great job in special teams. They're beating them at their game. David Tyree had the hand on the football.
David Tyree was in the punt. The punt. Syracuse has the ball. Minute 22 seconds.
Always like to come back after a turnover like this with a chance to hit a home run.
Well, let's see if he does. Troy Nunes with great field position. D. Brown, the tailback. And they're going to run the option, and he'll have maybe a couple of yards in the play. Cobb is the man who will be credited with the tackle. Now the crowd's doing a little coaching. They want him to throw the football.
Well, they figure if they're going to yell for you, they can coach a little bit too.
About to go under 1 minute left until halftime. And it has been Syracuse with the momentum in this first 30 minutes of play. Flags everywhere. That looked like the Canadian League right there. Both backs were moving.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Got the flag
Second down.
Might as well have the league rules.
Oh, Canada, yeah. That's a request. We need to send a request to have Adrian sing "Old Canada."
That's right. You told me why they have the flag up here.
Well, it's all because of proximity, and I guess they have a lot of students from Canada. Actually, I don't think that was me that told you that, Mike. I didn't give you a very good explanation. Yeah. Well, they want to set up the screen pass now. He almost got D. Brown knocked out of this football game. Again, that's one of those things that throw the football away.
Wow, what a hit by Ben Taylor. And the clock is still moving. Syracuse has 1 timeout left. And that's not going to go over well with the fans.
Adrian, let's go down to the sideline. What do you got?
Well, Ron, on ESPN.com, the question came from Sean in Ripon, Wisconsin. And Sean said, is it really possible to walk on top of the Carrier-Doom roof? Well, Sean, as I found out earlier today, the answer is yes. Well, here it is. Top of the world if you're a Syracuse football fan. Bouncing along on 6.5 acres of Teflon-coated fiberglass. Feels like a trampoline. 165 feet above the 50-yard line. Over my right shoulder, that's Lake Onondaga. A little bit further out, that's Canada. So you say you want a bird's eye view of the field? Take a look at this. Ron, as far as I know, this is the first time I've been able to say back down to you.
Adrian, you're incredible.
You know, he's doing the best job. And I know that he works for ESPN. He's doing the best job of any sideline reporter in the country. He's all over the place.
I couldn't agree more. That is terrific.
Walking on the roof, yes. Singing "Oh Canada," no. I'll point to it, but I won't sing it.
Listen, I got shaky just looking through the hole, and that's on camera.
Adrian, sing "Let the Dogs Out."
I think Ron let the dogs out. But he didn't want to hear that. I'll have Beamer for you shortly, gentlemen, as he goes to the locker room.
Okay, that's good. 8 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Good heavens.
You know who I'd try to throw to? David Tyree. Block the kick. Throw him the football.
Has it knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Adibi, I think, is the man, yeah. Nathaniel Adibi, a freshman out of Hampton, Virginia, knocked it down, and now they're going to punt or go for a distance field goal.
Not a good job in this series because they had a chance with a block kick to put some more pressure. Now, if they come away with 3, they still make something out of the block kick. If they miss this, it's a big lift for Virginia Tech.
51-yard attempt. This would be a career long if he hits it.
It's a big lift for Tech.
Short and wide left. And as they head to the locker room, 14-3, Syracuse on top. And Adrian Karsten about to grab Frank Beamer. Adrian.
Call it the curse of the carried over or whatever. Your quarterback, Micheal Vick, has been sacked 6 times in the first half. Is he trying to do too much?
Well, he's getting a lot of pressure. I think we got to help our offensive tackles. Those defensive ends are beating us back to our setup point a couple of times. I think we got to help some in our pass protection.
Do you think the distractions of the previous week to Micheal Vick has had an impression on the way he's playing?
No, I think it's Syracuse, and they're playing awfully well, and they hit 2 long bombs on it.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll see you in the second half. Ron?
Okay, Adrian, our score at halftime is Syracuse 14 and Virginia Tech 3. Now at Sports Center in game, Brian Kenny with the Buick halftime report. Brian. And Micheal Vick in the first half. 11 sacks the entire season. 6 already tonight, Mike.
And Micheal Vick has just never been able to settle. You see him moving around the pocket, and he's trying to make things happen. He gets knocked down, sets up, never gets a really good chance to deliver the football. He's been able to get out of this before, but Syracuse with a good defensive front. And then Freeney has really had a first half that's been unbelievable, number 54. And Frank Beamer talked about to Adrian, he's got to help on Freeney. That means a back.
How? Okay.
That means a back or a center is going to chip and help on Freeney. So they got to double him. He's just made too many Micheal Vick errors, and he's creating chaos in this offense.
Well, that's for sure. We'll also see if that last series after the block punt that Syracuse came away with nothing, if that comes back to haunt them in this ball game. This is Will Allen. And Allen going to be tripped up at about the 22-yard line. Adrian Karsten, let's go down to you.
Paul Pasqualoni says, yeah, I would have loved to have scored before the half, even just 3 points. Says, yes, we're on schedule, but now, if we're really going to win this game, here's what we got to do. Run the ball, first of all. Be physical up front. Number 3, win the special teams. Get to the 4th quarter with a chance to win this game. And then he thinks they can because they have enough momentum and enthusiasm to do so right now.
You know, they were very convincing in that first half. They did everything right. And when you hold Virginia Tech to only 78 first half yards, that is quite a job by your defense. Putting Campbell in motion, but it's D. Brown they give it to as he run it back into the boundary. Turns it upfield, and he's going to have a gain of 10, maybe 11 yards. Lamar Cobb on the stop, and they'll see officially 12 yards. Chris Davis with a very nice block on the play.
Ron, 2 big plays in the first half, but even though it doesn't look like much, just 44 yards, add 11 more, it's 55 yards. That's keeping Virginia Tech off balance. And the other thing you see here is the 6 sacks by Syracuse. Virginia Tech not able to get any offense in the first half.
I don't know if Brown got nicked a little bit, but that's the first carry he's had since the first quarter. D. Brown right up the middle, puts a head down, going to have 4 yards. Jake Housewright.
The best credit you can get to a coaching staff when you play against an opponent is George DeLeon, and all the other coaches Syracuse said you have to match the intensity that Virginia Tech plays with. They play so hard, and I think they have matched that tonight. And they match special teams, and they're doing what they have to do on offense, grinding out some yards, getting some big plays. They got the formula on track tonight for the upset.
There's the option play. Woodcock gets the pitch, knocked out of bounds, and he is very close. From where they're spotting it, it would appear he has the first down. Housewright and Pyle combined on the stop.
The other thing, Ron, is don't turn the football over.
It is a first down.
It is amazing. I was watching some of that Notre Dame game today. When you look at the number that they have not lost a fumble this entire season, that's just simply incredible.
And with the schedule they've played, they're sitting pretty good for a BCS bid if they don't, fall prey to an upset.
Happy for Bob. Good guy. Nunes got him open, throws to the tight end, and we told you they like the tight end, and particularly Manley does a nice job. It's a gain of 10.
And this is an excellent game plan by George DeLeon and Jim Hoffer, the quarterback coach, because everything's on rhythm. This is a quick pass. Don't give Virginia Tech a chance to sack the quarterback. Get the pass in there, fit it in there fast, and move the chains. Don't go for the big chunks. Just move the chains.
Micheal Vick looking on, thinking about what might have been in the first half. But he's still got a long time in this second half to make amends. D. Brown hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Wow, he gets driven back. David Pugh a couple of times tonight, along with Taylor, have really had some showstoppers for hits.
George DeLeon felt that David Pugh was the best inside player for Tech. He's had 5 tackles for losses and 3 sacks, which means he's playing in the offensive backfield.
Tyree comes into the lineup. He comes to the bottom of your screen along with Maurice Jackson. And, of course, Jackson, an unbelievable first half, 132 yards and a touchdown. Very nearly a high pass. Gets it out there. That's Woodcock again. And the very simple plays. This is almost like a running play, the way they're doing this.
And Ron, they're doing what Florida State did in the Sugar Bowl. They're spreading Bud Foster's defense out. They got 4 wide receivers. They're making sure you got to bring 4 people out. A high snap for Troy Nunes and just delivering the ball on time to Pat Woodcock. Good effort trying to get to the chains.
Woodcock, and he's from Ontario, 5'10", 175. Sorensen made that last tackle. Third down and short. Nigger to throw it. Play action. Zips it in there. Woodcock again. And they sling him down at the 29-yard line. Willie Pyle on the stop.
And that's the reason the flag's up for Pat Woodcock. And he's having a pretty good football game tonight.
Pat out of Canada, Ontario. 20 receptions on the year. You see 2 touchdowns and his average. D. Brown. Nice job of penetration by Whitaker. Rondell Whitaker came off that cornerback spot. He was up tight at the line of scrimmage, and he was in the backfield with penetration. And again, it's that old theory. They talk about Virginia Tech. You block 8, they rush 9.
Ron, you talk about an excellent job here. You mentioned Whitaker, and he comes off the block. Now, he's blocked right there. Watch the effort that he does to come back and make that tackle. And that's what George DeLeon and all the coaches talk about, the intensity and effort that Virginia Tech's players play with.
9th play of the drive. You see those linebackers creeping up. Here comes the blitz. They're going to run the option. And a nice job as it gets turned back inside. It's going to be Housewright who will make the tackle. And it looked as though they might have caught them in the right with the right offensive play, but Virginia Tech shut it down quickly.
They did. Troy Nunes probably should have just taken the football up the field, get what you can get rather than try to string it out.
Third down, line to make, the 28 of Virginia Tech. Syracuse leads at 14-3 as we're about to go under 11 minutes to play, third quarter.
Spread them out again.
Here comes the blitz right up the middle. Better get rid of it, and he does. Now the rule says that is not a grounding because it was Housewright. It was coming right up the middle, but he threw it out of bounds. But you have to throw it beyond the line of scrimmage, which he did.
Yeah, Bud Foster's wants the intentional grounding, but a good call by Bud Foster. Again, the spread out offense. Now Ron Schaefer's going to either attempt another field goal. We also know he'll punt out of this
formation. Start to say they will use him. They will direct snap to him. This is a 48-yard attempt. Nunes the holder. Good pass. Plenty of distance on this one. Wide left.
And a win again for Virginia Tech. You talked about the last series before half, and this series right here, Virginia Tech very much in this football game.
No question about it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more from Syracuse. Syracuse, New York. Virginia Tech trying to get untracked here. This is their first possession in the second half. They give it to Suggs on the right side, breaks through a hole, and takes it out to around the 37-yard line. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you again.
Ron, in the first half, you brought up the issue about the recorded music in the dome being cranked up when Vick and company go into the offensive huddle. I spoke with John Smith, the man in the white hat, the referee head of tonight's officiating crew. He said, no, there is no written rule. If Vick complains about it to one of the coaches, then it's my discretion whether or not I tell them to turn the music down or not. The question was also augmented by Rob from Mountain View, California on the website.
Okay, Adrian, thanks. Now here's that quick screen, and they've got Johnson on the outside. And just around midfield or inside of midfield. He'll be pushed out of bounds by J.R. Johnson, but it's a gain of 18. We checked on it up here as well, Adrian, and the rule book does not say anything about electronically enhanced music or noise. So it's not illegal.
There's the keyboard. Getting ready to play.
That's the audio board that they use to run those speakers up and down. Wolford checks into the lineup. Number 19. He is out to the top of your screen, or the left top. Vick under pressure. Zings this one too high. Almost picked off. Will Allen was right there.
Ron, one of the adjustments I see Virginia Tech's going to do right away is in the first half, you notice Willie Ford. Now, he can't even find him here. And there's a screen. Now, they've got all this room out here, so you expect them to come back and take advantage. And Willie Ford still hasn't come into the picture. But that's a nice adjustment by Ricky Bussell.
Draw play. Suggs puts a head down, bounces it outside, and close to 10 yards in the play. That is a really fine second and third effort. It's going to be officially a gain of 10. Pettijohn makes the tackle.
Taken down from behind by Keon Walker, and there is an injured player.
And it looks like Pettijohn, who made the tackle, yeah, it is the man who is down on the artificial surface.
Everybody in this stadium knows that Syracuse, the last two series, blocked punt, didn't get anything, missed a field goal, and that can come back to haunt you. And then Paul Pasqualoni knows missed opportunities against a very good team comes back.
Schaefer's numbers on the year, 5 of 15.
And I think in the first half, I think what they were trying to do was save their timeout, throw the ball, and then use their timeout to set the field goal up. But they let too much time run off.
I'll tell you what, they got to get this guy back in the lineup because he is playing awfully well. Chris Rippon, the defensive coordinator, had a lot of praise for number 49, Duke Pettijohn. Davis in motion. Pressure from the middle. Vick gets it away, and it's overthrown. That was Clifton Smith, number 9, that was applying pressure. Now, Micheal Vick told me yesterday, I said, is there a depth thing in the dome? Is it harder to throw if you're not here on a regular basis? He said, I don't think so. But Mike, he's been off several times tonight. I know part of that's pressure.
Yeah, if you notice the field, it's a flat surface. There's no crown, so he's got a crown at Virginia Tech. And then all of a sudden you come in here, you only work out here for 45 minutes to an hour. So but you expected he'd be used to it in the second half.
Well, they give it to the fullback and nothing. Ferguson gets hit in the backfield by Downing, and is going to be knocked down for a couple-of-yard loss as Virginia Tech tried to cross him up and give it on the quick handoff to the fullback. Nothing doing.
Well, Andre Davis has been silent, Ron. Only 2 catches. Will Allen, the very good corner, has shut him down tonight.
Direct snap, going to be hit and knocked down behind the line of scrimmage by Downing.
When you're not playing well on offense, your defense and special teams have to pick it up.
Ben Taylor has come in to do the punting. Line drive as he kicks it for the far corner. Going to hit at the 5, and that has been picked up. What an unsmart play inside the 5-yard line. What in the world was going on with Willie Ford?
I think the ball just bounced in front of his
He shouldn't
eye.
have been in the same zip code with the ball.
He should have been outside the dome.
Yeah. Willie, good heavens.
You better be slow coming to the bench, because look at that scowl right there. There's a message coming to you, young man.
So let's take a timeout. Syracuse still leads by 11.
They're the largest creatures on Earth. They've adapted and evolved with strength and determination. The kind of strength that helps the Pacific Life family of companies manage more than $300 billion for its clients. And determination that has guided Pacific Life for 130 years. Size, strength, longevity, offering annuities, insurance and investments. Use the power of Pacific Life.
There's always a combination of taking your knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. Call your advisor or Invesco Funds about the technology fund. You should know what Invesco knows.
Come to Sonic now for our hottest deal ever. New spicy chicken strips with a bold kick you'll love. Or for a tamer taste, there's our classic flavor with dipping gravy, crispy fries, Texas toast, an onion ring, even a cold drink for a special low price only at Sonic.
The environment treats everybody the same way. And if you're not prepared for it, it can be miserable. I have to have a good boot.
With Wolverine DuraShocks, comfort is a guarantee.
Can the young and talented Phillip Rivers school the old pro in Florida State's Chris Winkie?
Florida State versus NC State at 7 next Saturday on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Acura. Introducing MDX, taking the SUV to a place it's never been before. And by Holiday Inn, who gives you more, and more is better. Well, the Varsity Pizza just off campus here. And inside the dome, very big sequences, Mike Gottfried said. As you look at where Davis, number 34, is lining up, and D. Brown, they are well in their own end zone. Nunes will take it straight ahead with the quarterback sneak. That's Taylor, number 40, on top.
Ron just talked about how all phases of the game have to come together for you. And when your offense is struggling, the special teams, they kick them inside the 5-yard line. Now it's up to the defense not to allow Syracuse out of this hole or turn the football over and give your offense a short field.
Under 8 minutes left, third quarter. This is Davis going to be hit, pushed back by Sorensen. He'll be stopped at about the 1.5-yard line.
To me, this is the game right here for Virginia Tech, because right now they got a chance to turn this whole game around with this series.
And the other thing, Mike, that you want to make sure happens right now if you're Syracuse, you want to at least get out beyond the 5-yard line. Otherwise, you don't want your punter punting from less than 15.
And, Ron, that's the end where all the Virginia Tech fans are, so they're going to make it tough as they can on the Syracuse players.
Third down and 9. Nunes stumbles, throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted by Pike. The 5-yard line, first and goal, Virginia Tech.
That's what George DeLeon said about his quarterback, and he needs an Excedrin right there, because that's exactly what he referred to in the Boston College game. The guard stepped on Troy Nunes' foot. It's Vaughn Smith. Steps on the quarterback's foot, been better off taking the safety. Now you set Virginia Tech, and I really believe this series is going to affect this whole football game in favor of Virginia Tech.
First and goal just inside the 5-yard line. And a timeout called by Syracuse, so we'll take it with them. 7:01 to play, third quarter. Syracuse lead. Well, it's in jeopardy right now as far as leading by 11.
Just found original U.S. government Morgan silver dollars, cherished by collectors and hoarded by investors. It's the most sought-after collector coin in American history. Bulletin, Washington, D.C. Corporate ID Center. National Collectors Mint releases 3,416 of the last surviving Morgan silver dollars still in existence at $19.90 each, $10.05 less than several national dealers. Each Morgan is 79 to 122 years old, guaranteed to be in brilliant uncirculated to fine condition, and contains over 3/4 of an ounce of pure silver. It's your best investment in America's history. Call now. Orders for original U.S. government Morgan silver dollars are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. Strict limit of 5 coins per customer. Satisfaction guaranteed. Don't miss out. Call now.
This week on Sunday NFL Countdown, Marshall Faulk's speed and elusiveness make him one of the best runners in the league. But what makes him one of the top receivers in the NFL? When Minnesota's Robert Smith scores a touchdown, he really goes the distance. Meet the Viking, who's in it for the long run. Baltimore's 5-2, but the Ravens' offense hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 games. Can Tony Banks turn it around? Join me, Chris Berman, along with Tom Jackson, Sterling Sharp, Chris Mortensen, and Stuart Scott. Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
14-3. Let us show you something here. We're going to stop action on Nunes. Watch his right knee. All right, he is stepped on by the guard. He's going down. Knee is down right there. The ball is not on the way. It should have been a safety. Should have been a safety, and I guarantee you Paul Pasqualoni would love to have a safety right now and be punting the football away instead of the situation that they had with a first and goal just inside the 5.
Throwing a party for the safety. Going to get a heavy dose of Suggs here.
Fumble the snap, and Vick very wisely just falls on it. Marlon Greenwood was right there on him.
Recovered by the Hokies, recovered by Micheal Vick. It'll be second and goal from the...
Frank's got to be wondering right now, what else can go wrong tonight?
Well, they need to punch this in right here. They need to take advantage of what their defense got them.
The option play. Vick pitches it back. Suggs will score.
This game has completely changed around with what happened just before half and the missed field goal and the special teams kick inside the 5-yard line. And they'll go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. I'd come back the same play. It worked so well.
By the way, not in on the last 2 series. Freeney, who has been all over the place tonight. We understand from Adrian down on the sideline that he is suffering from cramps, and he is series to series when he'll be back in.
They'll miss him.
And he's been a wild man tonight. 2-point attempt at the 6:24 mark. Wolford in motion, and Vick throws it. Got it. Incomplete. Wolford had it and dropped it.
Wide open.
Ernest Wilford. And with 6:24 remaining third period, the Orange 14.
The option play. Micheal Vick takes it right to the last second, kicks it out to Lee Suggs. Perfect blocking. 2-point play. Wide open. Just can't hold on to the football.
By the way, give credit to Jarrett Ferguson for a really nice block on that on the option play and the touchdown. Let's check in with Brian Kenny. Brian?
Ron, Cal and Washington in the Pac-10. Last loss to Cal for the Huskies, 1976. 17 straight wins, but here's Kyle Bowler. He goes in 15 yards, and Cal leads at 24-13. They're in the third quarter. Also in the Pac-10, UCLA now leading Oregon State. It's 31-21. They're underway in the fourth. Ron?
And I don't know what's in the water in Berkeley lately. When they scored 49 points last week and shocked UCLA.
Wonder how many points Freddie Mitchell scored tonight, the UCLA wide receiver.
13 plays, 177 yards, 14 points. That's in the first quarter. And since then, 27 plays, only 57 yards, 2 turnovers.
Now this is key, Ron, here too, because Syracuse kickoff team don't want to get pinned back in there. They need a return.
Worley to kick it off. C25 Will Allen back as the deep man. And this is returning. Allen from the 6. Here comes a flag in as he breaks it out across the 30 to around the 32-yard line. 26 on the return.
Penalty flag, and the call is against Syracuse.
Well, coming up on Monday night, join Mike Tirico and company for a full 90 minutes of ESPN Monday Night Countdown, beginning at 7:30 Eastern. Then it's ABC's Monday Night Football as the Miami Dolphins take on the New York Jets. Game time is 9 Eastern time.
Mike Tirico does a good job, but he's here. He's here in the booth.
We're going to get him over here in just a minute.
I want him to take over for me.
Actually, he should take over for me. That's what he does.
I want him to take over for me.
There he is, Michael. Got to see Jordan, his smiling little son today. What a great kid. Mungro comes in at tailback. This is Mungro. Counter trade. Hit in the backfield. Maintain balance to get back for maybe a gain of 1, and that's about it. As Davis combines with Whitaker. And now in the second quarter and now in this third quarter, old Mo is beginning to head back over toward the number 2 ranked team.
Yeah, and it's defense that's done it. It's special teams, and they got him pinned inside the 20 again. Here's where Syracuse got to take some chances now. They can't get conservative here, because if you get conservative against Virginia Tech, you're playing right in their hands.
Flea flicker gets it back to Nunes. Can't find anybody open. Now throws it deep, and he's got Jackson. Ball comes loose and is picked up by Virginia Tech. That's house right. Well, the little guy with a second effort got him in trouble, because we talked about in the first half how small he is, and he got cracked really hard.
Ron, it was a great call by George DeLeon, because can't get conservative, so they take the flea flicker. Troy Nunes finds the open receiver, Maurice Jackson. Tries to get some extra yardage, and Virginia Tech, a good team at knocking the football out.
Eric Green, the freshman.
Eric Green. And now they're in business again to take the lead. The Syracuse defense has to step up.
From the 21-yard line. Here's the option, pitches it back. This time it's Kendrick, stiff arms the man down, turns the corner at the 20. Going to be a short gain, but it is a positive gain. And again, one of the things that Syracuse has done an excellent job with tonight is very few times has Virginia Tech been able to get outside. Contain has been really good.
They're doing a good job. There's Chris Rippon, the defensive coordinator, has a nice plan tonight. He knows his defense has been in there a lot here in the third quarter. Pressure's been on them the entire third quarter.
Vick with an audible. Play clock is down to 7, down to 6, still has time. And he gives it right up the middle to go with the running play, which is stopped around the 15-yard line. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Check out this work week by Chris Rippon, the defensive coordinator for the Orange defense. 7:15 in the morning to 1:30 the next morning. And that's not just because Virginia Tech is here this week, Ron. He does that every single week from the start of the season, Sunday morning through Friday.
Well, I'll tell you what, his hard work has paid off tonight, because his defense is not bearing the brunt of They played well. It's been the offense that has given it away right now. Hendrick caught by the jersey. Still fighting, and he's inside the 10 down to around the 6. Eric Downing holding on for dear life. First and goal, Virginia Tech.
It looked like a good adjustment by Ricky Bussell, because it looked like split flow there to me, the fullback and tailback. Watch this play. Now the fullback goes right, so usually the tailback will follow him. Instead, they change directions with the tailback, a little different blocking scheme, and that affects the linebackers. When you take the fullback to the right, that affects the linebackers, and they blocked it very well. Good call.
Suggs, the tailback now, on first and goal, and they'll give it to him. Right tackle, breaks one tackle, takes it down inside the 2, and he's down to the 1. Second and goal.
Virginia Tech trying to break the will of this Syracuse defensive football team, running right at him.
Freeney checks into the lineup, number 54. As you look on the sideline at number 1, Eric Green, the man who had that big hit that caused the fumble and put his offense on the field. Suggs again, over the top hit as he tries to go airborne. That's Clifton Smith, and he will not score.
This defense has played very well tonight. Paul Pasqualoni, who coached defense here under Dick McPherson.
Here comes that music up again.
You couldn't get a credit card between that football and the goal line.
Oh, my wife could. The pitch to Suggs. Gets the lead blocked, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Ferguson was out there blocking, but he cut in behind him.
They've got to go for 2 again, Ron. They blew the last 2-point play. Then now they got to try to go up by a field goal.
You know, in neither of those offensive series, I don't remember seeing Andre Davis out. I know he's been slowed by an ankle a little bit, and I have to wonder if maybe on this at the turf, if it's caused him a little problem.
He's been slowed by Will Allen too tonight.
Yeah, but Ernest Wilford's been playing a lot. In fact, Wilford is out there right now, bottom of your screen. Crowd coming to their feet as they go for 2. Vick zings it way too high. Wanted him at Johnson. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left in the third quarter. And our new score, Virginia Tech 15 and Syracuse 14.
Virginia Tech figuring on 3rd and short, everything's going to come inside, pitches the ball out to Suggs. Just a great effort to get in the end zone and take this lead. I go back to just before halftime. This game completely changed, and then the punt that nailed them down inside the 5-yard line. The defense took over their opportunities, kicked that ball loose there. The defense and special teams have put this Virginia Tech team ahead.
And that's the way Virginia Tech has played all year long. They did the same thing last year. Frank works so hard. He's one of the few head coaches that is the head special teams coach. Nobody else deals with that. He deals with it. But offensively, defensively, and special teams, they score on you in all 3 of those ways and are effective in all of them.
And you won't read about that punt, which nailed Syracuse inside the 5-yard line. But to me, that's as big a play as we've seen tonight.
No question about it.
And they keep the kickoff pressure on.
You know what else they did? Listen, take your headset off right now. And some of the air has gone out of the dome. It is very quiet in here. This kickoff 5 yards deep, and Will Allen not going to return it very wisely.
Here's the punt I was talking about, Ron. When you nail somebody down inside the 5, and of course Syracuse almost makes a big mistake. Willie Ford, I don't know why he's around there, but even They got the ball on the 2-yard line, and that's where everything started to go downhill. Not because Willie Ford handled the football, but because Virginia Tech pinned them inside the 5. Then they played great defense.
And it was Ben Taylor, the linebacker, who was punting the ball. He did a nice job, didn't he?
Outstanding. And that's what you need. All 3 phases of the game, play field position.
Here's D. Brown. Has a blocker in front. Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
Ron, you had a day of some upsets. TCU having problems with Tulsa. Casey Printers, though, here again playing in a driving rain. Printers up to Tim Maiden. 21-yard touchdown play, so TCU struggling but leading 10-3. World Series Game 1, Leiter and Pettit dominant, bottom of the 4th. No score. Ron?
Okay, thanks a million. Our score 15-14, Virginia Tech. Just over 2 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. D. Brown, left side, protecting that football. It gets cracked back by Housewright and also Chad Beasley. D. Brown, not a real big guy, but once he squares his shoulders, Mike, he gets north and south very quickly.
Yeah, he's a slasher, an inside runner. He averages 5.4 yards per carry. He's not a breakaway back, but he'll just hammer at you the entire game.
50% tonight, 5 of 10 on 3rd down conversions for the Orange. And they'll go straight ahead with the quarterback sneak, and he can come close. He got posted on the back of his center, and then Housewright came through and sent him into section 311.
Well, Frank Beamer's on the field because he thought he got a bad spot. He is really complaining about this spot. Troy Nunes does a wise thing. He puts the ball over. He took a hit.
All I will say is there are generous spots and there are generous spots.
And that was a generous spot.
I see why Coach Beamer was a little chapped, shall we say. 12th first down of the night by Syracuse. About to go into 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. Quarterback draw. Nunes gets what he can, which is going to be about 4 yards, and Sorensen was right there to push him out of bounds. Adrian Karsten down on the sideline. What do you have for us?
Ron, your supposition about Andre Davis was absolutely correct. Aggravated left Achilles tendon because of the turf and because of all the cutting he was doing. The grip down here is aggravated so much that he can't put any pressure on it. Is out of this game at this point. Was just talking to the coaching staff upstairs. Also, Ron, that affects Will Allen, the cornerback for Syracuse, because now he can concentrate on Micheal Vick, not so much on the receiver he has to cover.
Well, that's big as well.
He has really put a blanket on Andre Davis.
D. Brown gets by Sorensen, being pushed out of bounds by Whitaker, and a late flag as Whitaker continued to shove him out of bounds. George Scott with a good block, number 38.
Danielle, you can't explain it to Frank why you did it. Just get away.
Yes. Here it is right here. He bangs him, and he's heading out of bounds. And, of course, now that he's out of bounds, and then he shoves him with the face mask. So the penalty moves it out to the 48.5-yard line. D. Brown, penetration, going to be hit and dropped either at the line of scrimmage or for a loss. Jim Davis, and every time they have brought him into the ballgame, Davis has been a difference maker. He's made a lot of big plays.
Yeah, freshman 6'4", 236, got some help from the linebacker Brian Welch, the backup middle linebacker. It's an important drive for Syracuse because their defense has been on the field, and they faced the pressure of Virginia Tech's offense. They need to keep them off the field.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. Here comes the option. Nunes again. They run it into the short side of the field. He pitched that ball back. They were at the boundary.
That's the way you play the option, though. As long you make the quarterback go laterally as long as you can before he makes a decision, you stop the option.
Davis and Sorensen, and on decision making right there, Nunes second quarter, this quarter, decisions have not been good.
No.
It started off tonight, as Adrian gave us a reporting, which says he was on fire as far as right selections that he was making, keys, everything. Third down at 14. Great protection, going to go long, and this one is thrown up, intercepted at the 10. It's good as a punt. Pyle is the man who comes away with the interception.
And when they win is when Troy Nunes doesn't make mistakes and doesn't turn the ball over. They beat BYU and they beat Pittsburgh because they didn't turn the football over.
It's 2 interceptions for Pyle. And at halftime, he was one of the leading tacklers as well. So put a star by his name tonight.
Yeah. Just sitting in center field, that was a gimme.
Crowd is up, asking their defense to make a big stop here. Kendrick bounces it outside. Has 5, has 10, 15, and 20. And he's off to the races. And this time, Mike and I have been talking about containment. And that time, he got suckered inside, and containment was not there.
Yeah, Ron, again, this isn't a good adjustment by Ricky Bussell because he's taking the fullback to the right, tailback to the left, and it's affecting the linebackers. And that's why Kendrick got outside, back against the grain.
That's the end of the third quarter, so let's take a timeout. And as we head to the final 15 minutes of play, our score, Virginia Tech 15 and Syracuse 14. Back with more from the Dome after this. Virginia Tech has surged back on top, and as Mike Gottfried made the point, in the third quarter, it was the defense that helped them turn it around. Right now, Syracuse defense needs a big stand because in periods 2 and 3, the total yardage is not even 70 for the Orangemen offensively. The hot times came back in that opening quarter. Here's Vick. Bounces it outside and gets tripped up as he goes across the 45-yard line. I want to introduce our good friend and a graduate of Syracuse University, Mike Tirico, here in the booth tonight. We're going to offer you a rare opportunity. Yes. It's a 3-man booth, and tonight you're going to get to talk.
You mean the Corso role? He's not going to take up all the words? It's great to see you guys. It really is.
Good to see you. I know you've enjoyed the first half.
It's an enjoyable game. Virginia Tech's just so talented running the ball and defensively. Syracuse has only snapped it 3 times in Virginia Tech territory in the second and third quarter.
Movement, and you can see big number 90 Downing comes through.
Mike, I know you went to school here,
yes,
and
sir.
you hold the record for the most cut classes.
That is correct,
at
Mike.
Syracuse. But let me ask you a question. Micheal Vick, your observations of him tonight. You've seen him. You had him a couple times.
That's right. I don't know what you guys thought. In the first half, Micheal Vick looked like a guy who needs to stay another year in college from a pro passing standpoint. Syracuse was changing all the looks defensively, and Micheal wasn't settled with his feet, and that's why the pro scouts talk about maybe he needs more time as a passer.
Does this game affect his Heisman?
No. If they win and win out, no.
Here comes the draw play, and it's Kendrick, and he's going to have very short yardage. He's not going to have the first down. However, he may have gotten a generous spot here as well. One of the things, Mike, I want to pat you on the back on, and that is this group right here in the J School, distinguished alumnus, and look at that. You haven't changed, have you?
No, about 5 or 6 years ago that we went up there. It's the nice thing about this university is the school has so many people come through that radio station, which was the on-campus station. Right. Bob Costas, Marv Albert, Dick Clark, Ted Koppel, and many of us have been fortunate enough to feed off that momentum and go on to accomplish something in our lives.
And of course, that's the student station right
Absolutely.
there, and those guys are doing what you did some time ago.
And they're doing a great job, and they drive to all the road games and love it.
I'd put you second behind Dick Clark.
Thanks.
They graduate. You probably have more money than Dick Clark, though.
No, I doubt it. I put Koppel ahead of me, too. I don't want to get in the way of your game. This game's too good, but it's great to see you guys up here.
It's great to see you. Let me just say, Jordan, your son is what a smiling, loving dude. He is a neat kid.
He enjoyed his first game in the Dome, that's for sure. He's back home sleeping, so we'll see what happens. Good to see you guys.
He may have seen the best part.
Absolutely.
Mike
He's
Tirico.
a Tech fan.
That gentleman right there is Bill Roth, who I worked with in college and was also another alum.
He's the Virginia Tech broadcaster and is, of course, an alumnus of Syracuse.
You guys got the airways covered.
Third down and short. Vick straight ahead, and he'll have it. Not much doubt on where this spot is going to be right here. So the Hokies will keep it going as we're in the first minute of play in this fourth and final quarter. And the question remains, will the curse continue? Because Frank Beamer has never won in this building for all the things that he has accomplished. It is amazing. And when that first quarter happened, he really was walking around shaking his head saying, not again.
Well, you go back again, and I keep repeating it, this just before halftime, this game changed. It flip-flopped. The last series and then the missed field goal, this game is just completely turned around.
Suggs comes in at tailback again. The corners creep up with bump coverage, and boy, he gets tagged at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of one. Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
Ron, we go to the Pac-10, Oregon State and UCLA here. Jonathan Smith going to Martin Maurer. Just 4 yards away. Hits that for the touchdown. It's tied up 31-31. Mike asked about Freddie Mitchell for UCLA. His 4 catches for 78 yards.
Okay, Brian, thanks a million. Mike, after this play, just to get one more word from you. Glad you stopped by here.
Only one, Mike, too.
Suggs to the left side, inside the 40 and down to the 38. Hey, thanks for coming up. I know that it is it's fun to get to come back. It's a rare opportunity for you.
It is. It's a nice social weekend to come back and see a lot of friends from going to school up here and working up here. You guys enjoy the rest of the game. Good seeing you, partner.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for coming
out.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Mike Tirico. Is down to 5, now 4. Vick will give it to Suggs, and he gets blasted at the line of scrimmage. He got nothing. That's Downing, who was the first man to make contact with him.
Now you got a tough decision, Ron. Do you go for this 4th down? I think you punt Syracuse in the hole. Syracuse offensively struggling a little bit. Punt him in the hole.
Well, here comes Ben Taylor, the pooch kicker, and he did his job last time.
Here's where you get the defense playing a punt safe.
Well, that thing was almost blocked. Pooch kick is going to go out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. That's the thing about a pooch kick. A lot of times you kick it slower to make sure that you get it exactly where you want, and they almost got it. Let's take a break. Simpkins almost got to it. 15-14, Virginia Tech. We'll be right back with more. That's the first turnover that Syracuse had that there was no score after.
They got to go back to Woodcock. Pat Woodcock, number 16. A little short passing game, mix it up with the running game.
Mungro is in the ball game, gets the hand off, and he tripped. Lost his footing as he goes down. Adibi was the closest man to him. Well, the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question, who was the youngest player ever to win the Heisman Memorial Trophy? And the answer, 1994, Rashaan Salam of Colorado. 20 years, 2 months old the day that he won the Heisman.
Short gain, second and nearly 10.
Ran into a lady, Mary Larson, he's in the Pittsburgh airport. She asked me if I had a vote. I said, no, Ron Franklin does for the Heisman. I gave her your address.
Oh, thanks. Nunes from the shotgun. Here comes the option off of that, and look how they have pushed that thing backwards. Now he's going to scramble. Gets one block. Flag comes down.
Ron, one of the hardest hits I've seen right there on that crackback. May have been by David Tyree on Lamar Cobb, number 28. Wow, did he take a hit?
Going to be a holding call. Adibi is the man who messed it up. He was not only forcing it back, but also cutting him, making him go back inside. Here's a youngster that's a freshman. They really think
Here's
a lot
this
of him.
hit, Ron. Look at this. Wow. David Tyree, 6 foot 194, laying out Lamar Cobb. They're trying to decide whether they want to take this penalty or take the down.
Doing the wrong offensive team. The penalty has been refused.
Yeah,
Third down.
Take the down.
Not surprising.
No.
So Frank Beamer paces. He's got 10 minutes and 45 seconds to prove that there is no curse in the Carrier Dome.
Right here's Pat Woodcock, number 16.
Nunes, quick pass. He held on. Malik Campbell really took a shot, and Nunes is down.
David Pugh hit him, number 71.
Pass was complete, short of the first down. Defensive play made by number 71, David Pugh.
See the pressure, number 71, David Pugh puts his helmet right in the shoulder blades.
And he came untouched. Nobody picked him up.
And what happens there, Ron? You get a blitz on and the receiver shortens his route. You don't pick up the first down. You get the completion, but you don't pick up the first down. Good defensive call by Bud Foster.
Now let's see if the special teams will come after Schaefer, the punter.
I would set up the return here. Whitaker's back. Roniel Whitaker.
Only the second punt of the night.
Oh, they're coming after it. They got a wide open guy here. They got to bring him back in really fast.
High pass. And not a good kick. They did have the return on. Now it takes a huge Syracuse bounce. Another huge Syracuse bounce. And it's going to go dead inside the 25-yard line. Good heavens. 53 yards on the kick. Had they been coming after it with a high pass, it would have been disaster. Right back. Virginia Tech on top by 1, 15-14. Vick drills the pass complete out at the 40-yard line. That's Emmett Johnson, the junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
When you punt the football, what you want to do is affect the gunners. They're the first guys down. Now, Virginia Tech, what they do is they take their defensive guy inside, which means now Willie Ford has to go inside to block him unless you're going to throw the football. Now you got everybody contained in here to keep back and to get a good return. Nice little adjustment by Virginia Tech in the kicking game.
Leverett, the new snapper, almost snapped it too high as this running play will go for short yardage. And again, Eric Downing has been outstanding tonight. Big number 90. He is 6'4", 306 pounds out of Patterson, New Jersey, and we've called his name a lot in tonight's ball game. He's a load. Virginia Tech in no hurry. We are now under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Vick, pressure from the backside. Guess who? 54, Dwight Freeney. 7 sacks of the quarterback tonight, and 3 for Freeney.
Ron, he's so fast. Anthony Lambeau, the left tackle, can't block him. He gets back and he gets beat right hit from the start. He doesn't get deep enough. And Frank Beamer told Adrian Karsten that he felt like he had to give him some help. Lambeau some help with Freeney.
I'll tell you, Freeney has been
All-American game.
He really has.
can't remember one player dogging Micheal Vick like this in his career.
Yes,
Pressure again, and they got him again, and it's Freeney. Wow.
Now that's what Syracuse needs. That's the same thing Virginia Tech's defense and special teams gave him. Now Syracuse special teams has to take over and change this field. There's Freeney again. Just right around Anthony Lambeau. You can't block him one-on-one.
Peasley to kick, and it's Malik Campbell who is back on a single safety, number 10. Here's the left footer's kick. Good coverage kick. Not going to turn over, but it's very high. Campbell from the 38. Back into the near sideline, and here's a flag. 37 yards in the kick and 11 on the return. And it's Donahue, Mike Donahue, who makes the tackle.
Now, if you're Syracuse, George DeLeon, you're thinking all you need is to get Mike Schaefer in a position to win this football game.
As we mentioned, Schaefer is only 5 of 15. So if you could run the football and run it successfully.
Take some clock.
Yes. So there's a timeout. 7:15 remaining in our ball game, and Virginia Tech hanging on to a slim 15-14 lead.
Let Gemini take a closer look at your car.
Right now, we'll change your oil, inspect your hoses, top off your antifreeze, analyze your battery condition, and check your brakes. But we won't stop there. We'll rotate your tires, measure your tread depth, and adjust your air pressure. We'll even replace your wiper blades, all for just $44.
Plus, give you a free jug of blue wiper stuff so you can see where you're going.
Gemini Automotive Care.
We're making drivers smile.
Messier, Yager, primetime at the Garden, and NHL Rules is back. Hear the game, see the game in a whole new way. Penguins, Rangers, Friday at 8 on ESPN.
College football fans, get in on the action with ESPN Game Plan only on pay-per-view. Order now and get up to 10 games each Saturday. ESPN Game Plan, maximum college football. To order, call your cable company. DirecTV at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
Welcome back. 7:15 remaining in our ball game. Virginia Tech leading by 1 over Syracuse, who jumped out on top 14-0 back in the first half.
Still believe I'd go over here to Pat Woodcock.
Play action, rolling that direction. Looking for Woodcock, and he's covered, and now he's just going to throw this one away.
The problem was Virginia Tech was thinking Woodcock too.
They really were.
But it was too long developing.
It's hard to say. If he had thrown it early, Woodcock was open early.
Yeah, he got the big cushion over there. It just took too long with the play action. And
Campbell.
You don't want to get behind the chains against this defense.
And of course, what Mike is talking about, if you're not familiar with that term, that means 2nd and long, 3rd and long. That's behind the chains. You need yardage, particularly on 1st down, as Manley flips from the right side over to the left. B. Brown puts his shoulder down, and he'll bang his way for about 5 yards. Brian Kenny, what do you have for us?
Ron, it's 24-22. Cal leading Washington, but after Cal fumbled, Marcus Tuiasosopo needs just one play. Pitched out to Rich Alexis. He goes in. It's 29-24. Washington with the lead. And the Bronx still no score. Top of the 6th, Leiter and Pettit in a duel.
3rd down. The line to make is out at the 44. Nunes going to run it. He's got room, and he'll have the first down. Sorensen shoved him out of bounds. Well, it's time for the viewers to go online and help us select tonight's player of the game. Here's a list of the nominees, and they are Micheal Vick, Lee Suggs, Chad Beasley, Troy Nunes, Maurice Jackson, and Dwight Freeney. Log on to ESPN.com right now. Cast your vote. We'll announce the winner later on in the fourth quarter. I know who would get my vote, and I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I tell you what, Freeney is just, like you said, he has had an all-American game tonight. This is a game of a lifetime. D. Brown gets by one tackler in the backfield, and he'll take it just across midfield. Dan Wilkinson on the stop.
Syracuse now going to an unbalanced set, Ron. They got one extra lineman to the right side, and that's what you do against an even defense sometimes. They move the tight end over to the right side to make Virginia Tech make another adjustment.
And they're doing just what we talked about that we thought that George would do, George DeLeon, and that is to run the ball, run clock. Here D. Brown is in trouble though, and a negative yardage on this play right here. Wow, good play by Lamar Cobb. Now they look at a 3rd down and 9. Difficult call.
Yeah, it is. Troy Nunes made the first down last time on a scramble play, and you need those kind of plays against this defense.
3rd down and 9.
Clock runs at 5:19, now 5:18. Nunes sets in the pocket, got him open, and there's Campbell, and the trick. Well, let's see. The man who got a hand on him was Willie Pyle, who also has been outstanding defensively, and he got a pretty good spot there. This one's close. May have picked it up.
Measuring for the first down.
He got it. Now here's something we need to start thinking about. The longest field goal. We told you Schaefer has had an off year. He's like in a batter slump. But his career longest is 37, and that happened against Pittsburgh.
Well, he can come out of here with a home run if he hits a field goal in this last quarter here.
He has missed tonight from 50 and also from 48. First down, they move the sticks. D. Brown hits it at left tackle, fights his way. Good second effort inside the 40 to the 39. Jake Housewright combines to make the tackle. Hugh and Beasley had been getting a rest, and now they come off the bench. And this is like one of those things where you rotate a lot of folks, but there's some guys that are on the field when the opposition reaches a certain juncture.
Yeah, you want D. Brown on the field because he's a hard runner, and he gives you the hard running back style.
How about K-State having trouble with Texas Tech tonight?
Struggling. Coming off that loss.
D. Brown again. Big opening there. Sprints his way inside the 35 now. Does not have the first down as a DB makes the tackle.
I'd keep him on the field because he's a hard inside runner that's going to pick up tough yardage for you. Now what Frank Beamer's got to start thinking about is he's got 3 timeouts left. He does not want Syracuse to spend all this clock.
Yeah.
Syracuse has 2 timeouts. Virginia Tech 3 left.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards. 9th play of the drive. It all started back at the 34-yard line. Crowd coming to their feet down in front of us. Play action here. This is taking a long time, and he just throws it away.
That's the respect of the Virginia Tech defense. That's why that call was called, because you go back again to Florida State beating Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl. The reason they beat them is because of short yardage situations that they threw passes on and ran the option.
This would be, if they tried a field goal in the vicinity, it'd be 52 yards.
No,
so
this is the play of the game right here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it.
And I'd figure a way to get D. Brown involved.
3 tight end set. 4th down, still about 1.5 yards. And Nunes is going to call a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as the suspense will be delayed for 60 seconds. 15-14, Virginia Tech. And they continue to have the curse of the dome alive against Virginia Tech. 4th down. They need to take it just between 1.5 yards and 2 yards. They tried to throw on 3rd down. What will be the play here on 4th down?
Better block David Pugh, number 71. And I think it's movement on Syracuse here. I think Syracuse moved, which is going to make it more difficult.
Aaron Lewis, the tight end, number 41.
Dead ball, full start offense. 5 yards, remains 4th down.
Yeah, you're
12th
right.
penalty.
You're right, Ron. Aaron Lewis just moved a hair.
12th penalty. It ties a season high. The last time he had this many miscues was in the East Carolina game. Nunes retreats. Got a man open right over the middle and did not throw the football. Incomplete. Virginia Tech takes over, and Jim Davis, who we continue to talk about, is the man who had a hold of Nunes. And he had Campbell open over the middle. Did not go ahead and deliver the football.
Yeah, Ron, good pressure by Virginia Tech, but the penalty was really costly because 4th and 2 is a lot different than 4th and 7 in your playbook. I believe D. Brown would have got the football on 4th and 2.
Now frustration on the near sideline by the Orangeman players because 3:05 left. A couple of first downs, and this one will go in the record books as a great effort on the part of Syracuse, but as a loss.
You know, I don't agree with Mike Tirico on whether this hurts Micheal Vick in the Heisman. I don't think Micheal Vick cares about the Heisman tonight, nor does Frank Beamer, but I think this game will set him back a little bit. Eric Crouch today 59-0, and all the other players that are up for the Heisman. Of course, Dantzler gets hurt tonight, so a lot of factors and a lot of football to be played. You just got to stay tuned.
2nd down. They give it to Suggs again. Banged hard at the line of scrimmage. He's not going to have anything. Maybe a half yard.
They got to stop them one more play and use their timeout. They have 1 timeout left, Syracuse. Paul Pasqualoni's team gave great effort tonight. We knew just by watching them work out yesterday, they were focused on this football game. And they were going to give a great punch to Virginia Tech, and they gave it early.
Third down, they need to take it to the 50-yard line to keep this drive going. Here comes the pressure, and Vick's going to put it on his hip, and he'll have the first down and more. He got a great block downfield. He will score. Micheal Vick, 55 yards.
So much for the hurting him in the Heisman. Big play in a big time in the football game. He got a great block by a wide receiver here. This was a run all the way. Block as a run all the way. Here's the block right here.
Wilford, the redshirt
number
freshman.
19 on Will Allen, and that sprung him for the touchdown.
Mike, he turned Allen a complete flip. Allen went a complete 360 after the hit. Extra point attempt is up, and it's good. And a stunned house here at the Carrier Dome with 1:34 remaining. And all of a sudden, number 2 Virginia Tech on top by 8 points.
Yeah, they find ways during a ball game, and you got to punch their lights out and keep it out. And you got to make every opportunity that happens in a ball game, you got to take advantage of them. They got the Oranges. They're not there yet. They still got a couple key ball games. Still a lot of time here left. 134. They got Pittsburgh next week and then Miami. Miami still has to come up here too. Syracuse.
I think we got that game, don't we? 3 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, ESPN College Game Day at 11 Eastern. And the noon game from the Big Ten, Illinois and Michigan State, or on ESPN2 Northwestern battles Minnesota. Then our ESPN primetime game from the ACC. 6th-ranked Florida State taking on North Carolina State. And over on ESPN2 Penn State against the Indiana Hoosiers from the RCA Dome. Warning to kick it off, and we'll find out if the quick score does help Syracuse. When you're down 8 points to this defense, I'm still not sure that you help yourself. Allen from the 7. Tripped up as he crosses the 30.
Syracuse still has a timeout left. You got to hit up with Maurice Jackson for those big plays they had early in the ball game. They need something big here quick. Great effort by the Syracuse football team. Go back to just before the first half ended. That series kind of lifted Virginia Tech because they were able to stop them from going up 3 more.
Or even 7 more.
When you block the other team's punt, you get the ball on the 30-yard line, getting nothing. It's a lift for the other team.
Pugh with the pressure runs him up into the pocket. Scrambling for the sidelines, and smart move by Nunes as Corey Bird was chasing him. So 1:18 on the clock.
Just thinking, Adrian talked about the defensive coordinator arriving at work at 6:30 and staying till 1:30, and you put all that time into a game plan, a great game plan they had tonight. They executed very well, just did not take full advantage of opportunities.
Got that pass to Jackson, the man you were talking about. They'll have the first down, and they need to come to the line of scrimmage quickly. This clock will stop, as you know, momentarily while they move the chains. Housewright, one of the men making the tackle. Nunes throws this one away. Woodcock was the closest man to it. Then that stops the clock with 59 ticks left.
Syracuse with a tough loss last week, Ron, to Boston College. A game they could have won.
Dave Cadell on the sideline, their fine offensive right tackle. You could see him kind of not only relaxing but hoping that this next 59 seconds will go on fast forward as the Syracuse bench looks up, knowing that it's running out quickly on them. Shovel pass, Mungro, and he'll be tackled at the 48-yard line.
Got to go right to the line of scrimmage.
Jake Housewright on the tackle. Clock runs 45, now 44. Pressure on Nunes. That pass intercepted. Corey Bird. Bird with the pickoff. He's running toward the sideline, and now flags come from everywhere. Cobb is the man who forced the bad pass.
You just feel badly for Syracuse because they gave great effort. Their coaches had a great plan. Virginia Tech dodges an upset here, Ron. They really do.
No question.
They were sitting on upset all the way.
I agree with Adrian also. They were flat as can be in the first half.
It's a pancake. They make plays. Bud Foster going to be happy. Here's the penalty.
Nunes got clipped in the back. It was Cobb. Last 2 weeks, 7 interceptions.
You can't win turning the football over.
Vick takes a knee. 27 seconds, now 26.
Second down, Tommy. Second down.
Handshakes being exchanged in the middle of the field, and this one is about to go in the record books. The voting is complete. Tonight's Visa Player of the Game is selected by the fans at home on ESPN.com is Micheal Vick. 6 of 11, 75 yards passing, 9 rushing yards, and a touchdown. And of course, you got to take off the sacks. For those of you saying he had more yards than that on that long run.
The curse is over.
The curse is over. Frank Beamer has finally won in the Carrier Dome. First time for him. He was 0-5. Final score, Virginia Tech 22 and Syracuse 14. Coming up next, the College Football Tonight scoreboard, followed by SportsCenter. And next Saturday night, we'll be in the ACC as 6th-ranked Florida State takes on North Carolina State. For Mike Gottfried, Adrian Carson, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Now, Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit.